Gentlemen, welcome to Las Vegas.
Is that right?
Everybody eating? Good. Everybody sober? Close enough. All right, before we get started, nobody's on the line here yet. What I'm about to propose to you is both highly lucrative and highly dangerous. Now, if that doesn't seem like your particular brand of vodka, help yourself to as much food as you like and have a safe journey. No hard feelings. Otherwise, come with me.
Damn, Ron, come on! What's the matter with you?
Tomorrow. Let's do it tomorrow.
There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow.
That's all.
Welcome to the Leadership of Films. This is a prologue to the upcoming season of episodes that the team from Leadership of Fools will be recording, exploring all the leadership insights we can glean from all the films out there, hard-hitting films, soft-hitting films, all the types of films.
Rick Brown, I'm very excited about this one. It's a bit of a passion project for me. I think films, movies, in fact, books, theatre, all sorts of wonderful art is a great way to learn leadership.
Yep, but the only type of art we're interested here on this podcast is films.
Yes.
Because it is the Leadership of Films. So let's just pick and stick.
Thanks very much, Rick. You are always good with clarity. So what I thought we'd do today, 2019 is the year for Leadership of Films.
Yes.
But at this early stage, we actually want to get a sense of which films the people out there, the wonderful listeners, are actually curious, interested in us covering.
Absolutely.
Delving in depth around what do we learn about humanity, about teams, about vision, people overcoming adversity. It's very exciting to me.
Yep.
But at this early stage, we just want to know, get excited about what particular films. I've chosen 20.
All right. You got a short list.
I've got a short list of 20. And
so during this prologue episode, you're going to be going through that list just to see how we're feeling about them. Is that where you're at?
Absolutely. And in fact, we're going to do a little bit of a voting process.
Ooh.
And that voting process will determine probably the first 5 episodes.
Is it just you and me voting? Because
well, no.
like here and now? Is that what we're doing right now? We're not voting now?
No.
You're opening up the voting.
I'm opening up the list of 20 to get people excited out there.
Yeah, and they get to vote.
They get to vote.
Ooh,
and
sounds high-tech, mate.
Rick, you haven't seen this list of 20,
No.
so it's actually a little bit of a test for me to get your instant reaction to it.
I'm a blank slate.
And that will just galvanize the group out there to go in and vote.
I warn you, Colin, I did study media at university, so I've got tertiary level knowledge when it comes to film. So, I'm no easy target.
Well, you're the perfect test case for me. So let's go. I've categorized the 20 into 4 high-level categories
Ooh, I like
or
it.
subcategories.
Yes.
So the obvious,
Yes.
the unexpected,
Good.
the fun,
Yes.
and the Australian movie.
Oh, that's
The
good.
Aussie
There's a bit
movie.
of Oz content.
And there's only 2. Maybe I should start there. 2 of the 20.
Yes. Australian gems.
Gallipoli,
Oh, yes.
The Castle.
Gallipoli and the Castle. Well, Gallipoli, I mean, that is a classic Australian film, and you'd have to say there's a lot of leadership insights in there, especially about leadership gone horribly, horribly wrong. So I'm liking that. And the Castle. The Castle? The Castle. Well,
Either.
I feel like you said Castle, but I was definitely more inclined to say Castle. But
Castle.
I guess that just depends who you are, where you're from. The whole debate could be about how to pronounce the name of the film.
Yeah.
So there's plenty of there to go with.
All right. Well, I'm enthusiastic about your optimism on those 2 so far.
Mate, good choices. Both of those good choices. I'm happy.
Let me go now to the obvious. And when I say the obvious, I could have gone even more obvious. Like, in fact, Gallipoli is a war movie.
Yep.
You get your typical war movies with, leadership, and I've avoided them where I could.
Ooh.
But I've got good sort of 7 or 8.
7 obvious leadership choices for film knowledge.
In fact, there's 9 of them.
Hello.
Social Network.
That's about the inception of Facebook.
Yes.
So it's got your Zuckerberg focus and the intrigue. It was a fascinating film. They managed to make a bunch of coders seem exciting and full of espionage and.
I'd actually say it's an outstanding film.
There you go.
It's a Sorkin penned
I reckon
piece.
Sorkin lost a bet, and they said if you lose this bet, you have to try to make the birth of Facebook seem exciting and full of goings on. And he lost the bet, and he's like, I'll do it, and it's going to be amazing.
Well,
and he
made The West Wing look exciting.
Yeah.
He made Courtrooms look exciting.
Yeah.
He's a wonderful writer. But let's move on. The Big Short. Do you know that
Oh,
movie?
yes,
Yeah.
about the sort of financial crisis and the banking industry, sort of all of that business and stock market
Correct.
intrigues.
So the timing on that couldn't be any more perfect, with Royal Commission still playing out
Yep.
here in Australia. Broadcast news.
Ooh, is that this I'm Mad as Hell? Or is that Network? That's Network.
That's Network. Yes, no.
Broadcast News has got William Hurt.
Correct. And
Okay.
Holly Hunter.
Holly Hunter. Oh, I do
Yeah.
have a soft spot for Holly Hunter. She is forever charming in every role she plays.
Yeah, so that's a kind of maybe a late 80s classic film. A film that they don't often make these days. In
Yeah.
fact, might be a Netflix series these days.
I've only got dim memories of the film, so that will be a fun one for me to rewatch. So it's already got my vote.
The Insider with Russell Crowe.
The Insider, is that a?
Whistleblower.
I'm thinking of The Inside Man, which is a different film.
Different
got,
film.
What's his name?
Yep. So The Insider's a whistleblower around tobacco.
Any film with Russell Crowe after sort of Gladiator, there's a chance that I won't have seen because I really.
You checked out on Russell Crowe.
I was not a huge Crowe fan.
In fact, that was before Gladiator.
Oh, there you go. Proves what I know.
Also an Al Pacino film. Elizabeth, Kate Blanchett.
Oh, yes. Beautiful.
Now, I could have put that in
That is a
the
good
Australian category.
Yeah. What,
But
because there's an
it's-
Australian person in it?
Yeah, but
Oh.
it's more a global film, I would
Yeah, I
suggest.
reckon.
But you're saying good choice?
I reckon it's a great choice.
Yeah, fantastic. This one still fits in the obvious. Gandhi.
Oh, with Ben Kingsley.
Yes.
Ooh, hoo, hoo.
Best Picture winner.
Yeah, it's got dripping in Oscars, that one. Just
it.
dripping in them. Yes, well, I've only got... I think I saw that when I was quite young, or like when it first sort of came out, and it was... so again, I've only got dim memories. I haven't given that a rewatch in my adult years.
I actually, when it was released, I was living in Swan Hill as maybe in my very early teens, or maybe even 10 or 11 years old, and I walked out of that film.
That was your
it
own
was-
sense of resistance.
Yes, it
passive
was-
resistance.
That's right. It was definitely beyond me, but it's not beyond me now in the sense of it's a wonderful film.
Okay.
I just didn't get it.
Yeah. Have you rewatched it?
Yes, I've
Oh,
rewatched it.
good. Hey, I'd like to, so that's good.
13 Days,
I don't know that one.
Kevin Costner film. It's actually about the JFK in the Bay of Pigs.
Ah.
The
Geez, he liked to get into the JFK stuff, old Kevin Costner, didn't he? After
he
a
did.
while,
He did. Now that's
still
fascinating.
trying to crack the code, still trying to figure it out.
because we were on the verge as a world of a verge of nuclear war. So that's kind of how.
It was a delicate balancing act.
Delicate balancing
Needed some
acts.
clear and concise leadership to
Absolutely.
navigate those waters.
Absolutely. Working Girl.
Yeah, Harrison Ford, Melanie
Yes.
Griffiths,
Yes.
Sigourney Weaver,
Nice.
I think.
You're
At a
spot
guess.
on. And Alec Baldwin in a.
Oh,
When he was the height of masculinity.
yeah.
So
He still is.
he
There's
still
something about
is.
Alec Baldwin. I mean,
I don't know
love
whether
him or hate him.
I'm not quite sure Working Girl stacks up in 2019.
It might be
but-
problematic in many ways,
but,
but you know, we're not afraid to tackle problematic areas.
All the President's Men.
Was that Robert Redford
Yes.
and Dustin Hoffman
Yes.
about Watergate?
Watergate.
Yeah, there we go.
Watergate. So, again, I'm looking at leadership from the perspective of big global change as
Yeah.
well. So Watergate,
Yeah.
which I suspect if Watergate happened right now, would hardly
wouldn't cause a ripple.
wouldn't cause a ripple.
Everyone
at
would be
all.
like, "Oh, yeah, that makes sense."
But in 1974 or whatever it was,
Certainly caused some trouble.
So let me go with The Unexpected.
Oh, so they were the obvious ones.
They were the obvious.
Yeah.
The Florida Project. Have you seen that film?
No.
It was a very low key film out of last year, and
Okay.
it's got Willem Dafoe.
Oh,
And
he makes a lot of films. To be fair,
yes, Willem Dafoe in a very understated role, but he actually leads a community of people who are in quite dire circumstances.
right?
Really impressive.
Well, it does sound interesting.
Do the Right Thing.
Oh, Spike Lee.
Spike Lee.
A bit of a Spike Lee joint. I did. I've got very fond memories of that film.
Yeah.
And the atmosphere that it creates. That's that heat wave.
Oh, you feel like you're there.
Oh,
you feel
the
like,
heat wave.
What is
Yeah.
it? Brooklyn,
Yeah.
1980s,
Yeah.
and you just, feels like
Powder keg.
you're living it.
About to
And it
explode.
literally is
Yeah.
about to explode. Really powerful film. The Player.
Oh, I love The Player. Tim
Do
Robbins.
you love The Player?
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
And it's a film that's not often talked about.
No, it's a great film though. Sort of Hollywood goings-ons.
Yes, it is. So here's a Hollywood executive and
Mm.
how underhanded and how it's fascinating.
Yeah.
Fascinating to watch. Not necessarily a good leadership lesson,
No, but hey,
but well worth watching.
it shines the lights on all sorts of sort of leadership pitfalls, maybe.
So the final one in the unexpected category is also another Willem Dafoe film,
Yes.
Mississippi Burning. Gene
Yes.
Hackman.
Yep.
Civil rights.
I was a huge fan of this film when I first saw it. I was sort of in my late teens. I really loved everything about it. But then it's one of those ones where it was quite of its time, and it's that thing of when you rewatch it, you get different things from it. And I was like, I don't necessarily, I'm not as on board with it as I was when I watched it. But I guess we can talk about that. Should it poll well in the votes?
Yeah. So the final category is the fun category. Now, what I'm really saying is I genuinely think there are leadership lessons within these.
You just don't know. You
But-
just want to watch the films.
But these are films that tend to be quite popular
Yep.
and people just love anyway.
Yep.
So Ocean's 11.
The original or the remake?
Well, listen, I think they all feel a bit the same, but
Yeah.
I would go... Oh, sorry, you're talking...
Like the
You're not
one
talking the
with
sequels?
Frank Sinatra.
No, I'm probably talking
You're
classic
thinking George
Brad
Clooney.
Pitt,
Yeah.
George Clooney, Matt Damon.
Yes. And Ocean's 11 has been diluted by the fact that they made all the sequels that were nowhere. Yeah, they did feel like they were all phoning it in after a while.
I love a good heist film.
But I think those sequels have diminished how good Ocean's 11 was. I think it was quite a good film for what it was at the time. So it's a shame they sort of diluted its mystique.
Now, the one thing I would say is I think you look at that one through the lens of teamwork, but a very not diverse team
Yeah.
of the 11, all male.
Oh yes. Yeah.
All male. The Devil Wears Prada.
Lovely. Streep. Is this the only Streep film in there? You'd think she's got to have snuck into a few of the other ones. I haven't been thinking of it through the Streep lens, but jeez.
I think you might be right. I think you
jeez.
might be right.
Considering her output, you'd think she would have popped up in a few of the other ones. But she's there. Devil Wears Prada. I did enjoy that film.
Yes, a very rewatchable film.
Yep.
And I can't help but think there's some gems, lessons, good, bad, and indifferent throughout
Absolutely.
that film. What is the actress's or the actor's name with Meryl Streep in that film?
And there's Anne Hathaway.
Anne Hathaway. So another Anne Hathaway film, The Intern.
Ooh.
Very recent film, and had Robert De Niro in a bit of a reverse role where he, as an intern, was
yes.
in his early 70s.
I did see that. I saw that on a plane.
Yeah, so in a startup situation.
Mm-hmm.
So of its time now, not necessarily the best film, but light, easy to watch,
Yep.
and there's probably he's a classic ultimate reverse mentor.
Absolutely.
Inside Out.
Pixar. The cartoon.
Yeah.
Oh, that was magical. That's yes. Always yes. Vote. It's got all my votes.
All your votes.
Yeah. No, that was a delightful film.
Yeah, it's a delightful, absolute gem, and
And it gets you right up inside the brain.
Yeah,
So
bit of
you know?
if you're interested in mindset change, and
So that's where it all starts.
and the final one of our 20 years, and this is a bit of a special one, and we can't mess with democracy, and we will literally take the majority.
Yep.
But you'd be hard pressed not to vote for this one, and this is one special for you, Rick Brown.
Yeah.
Rocky 3.
Oh, Rocky 3. I mean, it's front and center in my mind at the moment. As you know, I've got my upcoming comedy festival show, which is the Shakespearean reimagining of the movie Rocky 3, called Rocky the Third. And so I've got Rocky the 3 all up in my brain. So and the things we can learn from Rocky 3. I mean, let me count the ways. I won't now. I will wait to see if it's something we need to investigate further for the podcast. But geez, it's got my vote. So at the moment, I've voted for most of the films that you've mentioned.
Yes, I think you do. So if you had to have a go, you got quite passionate about Rocky 3.
Rocky 3. Inside Out. Off the top of my head, I'd go Rocky 3, Inside Out, Gallipoli, Do the Right Thing, And I'm throwing The Devil Wears Prada in there just because you've got to have Streep. If you're doing films, Streep needs a mention.
So my vote, and this is where we'll wrap it up, and other than right at the end, you'll get to hear exactly how you can vote. Mine would... I'll go Devil Wears Prada as well. I think I would like to go The Player. I love The Player. Broadcast News, Social Network, and not Gallipoli, but The Castle.
Nice.
The Castle.
Yes.
So thank you. Leadership of Films is something we're very pumped about next year.
How can people vote?
How can people vote? I'm actually going to post-record that with absolute specifics. You'll get to get a link into LetterBox'd, which is a wonderful app particularly for movie lovers.
Yep.
You'll get to see the list of 20, and we're looking for your top 5.
Yeah.
And of those top 5, we'll definitely, for the first 5 episodes, we'll delve into. In fact, it's a bit like a book club.
Yeah.
We'd encourage you
But
to
not
watch
about
the
books.
But not
It's
about
about
books,
films.
about films. We will
like a film
unpack them in the spirit of trying to extract every morsel of leadership insight.
Perfect. I'm excited by the very prospect.
Thank you very much.
Get voting.